Kareem, your host at the One Soccer Nation podcast, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing Don Smart. Don is a professional soccer player at Lexington SC that competes in USL One. Don, thank you for taking the time for joining us today. How's it going?
Good, man. Thank you for having me on this, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So can you just take us back in time and just share how you got involved in the beautiful game?
So I'm from Jamaica. I was born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica, a place called Arnett Gardens, and migrated to the States 12 years old, and moved to New York in the Bronx, where it all started from there, and I started playing youth soccer, and then played school. I went overseas I went to Italy overseas, and then it all came from there, man, and just I just haven't stopped since then.
Yeah, nice. You know, I've been to Jamaica before a few times now, and Jamaica to me is heaven on earth. But in regards to the soccer scene, how is it out there? I've never seen it. I've seen some footballers from there play on YouTube, and some ballers you guys got over there. But how's
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah?
It's crazy because I never got the chance to actually play in Jamaica. I moved out early, so I
Okay.
didn't in the league in the USL and the MLS that played in Jamaica or from Jamaica. So, and like every off season I go back to go visit my family and stuff. So, and it's like there are a lot of ballers. It's just that a lot of these guys don't have the opportunity that we have here in the States or in other countries that to you know what I mean, to show their talent. Most of these guys have to go through, like you said, high school right now is the biggest soccer in Jamaica right now. Not even a professional league as big as like the high school is right now. And it's like it's actually good, and I'm glad that it's shedding light on the high schoolers and the young guys coming up, and to see how the game has changed rapidly.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, you came to the US at 12 years old. That basically changed the trajectory of your career, of actually giving you the opportunity to go pro. What challenges do you see Jamaica facing in regards to the soccer landscape and building out that platform there? Is there any plans there going on that you know of, or any big changes?
Um, Yeah, as from now, there's couple academies or a couple teams that are like using the youngster now. Like growing up, like the difference between America and Jamaica is America, we have like a lot of academies and a lot of stuff that can showcase all the kids like around like in the States. In Jamaica, it's rare. And it's only certain places you have that. We have a lot of kids that's from, as you could say, from like the inner city, or their parents or their family don't have the money or the thing to get these guys to the next level. So it's kind of hard and difficult for them. But now it's like there's a lot of changes that's happening slowly but surely. But hopefully, and in the end, and I want to be, hopefully I could be a part of it, like to showcase most of these guys and shed light on these young guys coming up that need the exposure to come up in the professional world.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of like bridge a pathway to the US, or is that something in mind? Or
Yeah.
nice.
Definitely. That's what I'm working on right now. On like, whenever I retire, working on a couple people, and so we can get it started, and try to help out the younger guys or the guys that need the help to get here or get overseas or go somewhere to show their talent, because there's a lot of talent in Jamaica, not only in Jamaica, in the whole Caribbean itself. And it's like, you know having the Caribbean as a third world country is very difficult for guys to show their talent, unless they go to like colleges and stuff like that for them to, be seen and stuff.
100%. You mentioned retiring. When do you plan when do you plan to retire? And you mentioned a little bit about this plan right here. How long have you been thinking about that or working on it for now?
To be honest with you, I don't have a time frame on retiring. It's just whenever it happens, it happens. Whenever I start feeling like I can't do this no more, that's when I give it up. But now I don't, like, to be honest with you, it's not really in my mind to say retire, but like things and type of change. So, I can be sitting here talking to you today and never know. But hopefully it goes a couple more years.
Yeah.
But I've been working on this since 2014.
Got it.
So
Yeah.
when I was in Indy, I was working on this, and I know like a couple people. So in my hometown, Arna Gardens, like I give back a lot to like the communities and the guys that play for the team and stuff like that, and always trying to like get guys into school, into colleges, and just for guys to like actually to see what it's like to be in a professional environment different from what they're used to in Jamaica.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you are a veteran in the game. These guys obviously look up to you like a superhero. They want to be in your position. So, I'd usually ask this more towards them. I'm asking you now, what advice would you give to up and coming footballers that want to go pro?
um you just got to believe in yourself, believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you. And you can't just like it, you have to love it.
Mm.
Liking and loving is two different things. When you love it, no matter what it is, you would get up and go play. If you like it, you like, okay, outside is too cold, it's raining, I won't do it. But if you really love it, you won't have any excuses. You would just get up and do it. And like, just don't give up. Like, don't give up on your dream. It's never too late. It's never too late, and you have to work hard, because hard work always beat talent when talent haven't worked hard enough. You know what I'm saying? So you have to just keep going. Just continue playing. Play as much as you can at a young age. Play as much as you can, because that's the experience that you get from playing and learning the game, and from different people, and so I would just say, just like, don't give up, believe in yourself, and just keep playing no matter what.
100%. So let's dive into how you went pro. So you came to the US at 12 years old, and then where did soccer lead you from there?
So played at a club team here in the Bronx, which called Bronx Reggae Kids, and it's like there was only Jamaican guys on the team,
Mm.
every because I live in the Jamaican community in New York, and it's like everyone's like migrated from Jamaica, and we all like went to like the same high school and middle school, and we all like so happened to be on the same team, and it all came from there. And it's crazy because I tell guys now, it's like my when academy first started, that was, I think, was my I think that was my last year into high school, I believe. And it was like kind of like basically kind of too late. So I didn't get the real training and the academy and stuff. Like, my coach was a cricket player.
Mm.
So he didn't really coach as much. We just had a bunch of individual players that know how to play the game. And we go up and play against guys that train 3-4 days a week. We only train on Friday and Saturday.
Mm.
And then we go play a game on Sundays, and we would play against teams like FC Westchester, New Rochelle, Gotchi in Queens, and a team called Brooklyn Knights, where they're now called Met Oval. And these guys that we used to play against was like, Hispanic guys, Colombian, Africa. It was all over. It was different race, but these guys was just like, you can tell they was on a different level from us because of the training that they was getting. But we would keep up with them because of we have a lot of individual players who are really good.
Mm.
So went from there, started playing, and people started seeing us and inviting us to, like, ODP. And they had this guy, I met some Italian guy that had a team that was going to Italy in Coney Island. And I told it's crazy because I told my friend the story the other day, where I literally had to I used to go to parties a lot, go to parties and know that I have to go to training the next day. So I would go to party, have my stuff in the trunk, tell my friend to drop me at the train station after the party, which was like 4 o'clock in the morning, jump on the train, 2.5 hours, go all the way to Coney Island to
Wow.
train, and then take the train and come all the way back, where everyone else parents is like picking them up and driving. Is just like, and I tell these guys, like, that was my dedication. Like, I used to go to parties, like, knowing like I have to make it to training the next day. So it's like, while my friends at home sleeping, I'm on the train, like missing my stops because I'm sleeping just to make it. And it worked out. And happened to got the opportunity to go to we went to Italy, and it was an eye opening experience. I got this. That's when I think Giovinco was playing for Juventus. Balotelli was still at Inter Milan. It was a cup called the Primavera tournament in Italy. It was like teams, like academies from like all over the world. Bayern Munich, Santos from Brazil. It was like my first experience, like actually seeing like professional guys, and I've seen guys. This was when I was like 18, like 18, 19, and maybe 20. And these kids that were just younger than me, like 17, 16, and these guys were, when I say ballers, I couldn't even believe. I was like, there's no way these guys are that young. But like I said, the training that these guys were getting was professional training.
Mm.
So it was like different class. It was like a different class, man. It was just like, and I remember calling my friends over in Italy. It's like, yo, listen, man, you guys thought I was good, man. You should see these guys. They're way better than me. It's like we got ripped apart every game. We got
Wow.
ripped apart in every game, man. But it was the experience, it's like it's one thing like I wish like everyone that plays soccer
Mm.
get to experience it, because it's like you get to see different cultures. You get to see how is it to be a real professional. You wake up, you eat breakfast, you go to the gym, you train, you play games, you travel, everything is together, and that was my first time like actually witness like a real like professional. I always say, listen, man, when I grow up, I want to be a professional soccer player. But you know how it is, like when you're a kid, it's like when your dream comes into reality, it's like an eye-opening experience. It's like,
Mm.
holy shit, like this is what it really takes, And I didn't really, And when I came back, the guy who was my roommate, his name was Mateo Gantevich. He was Polish. So he asked me, he's like, "Yo, so what you trying to do when you get back?" I was like, honestly, man, I don't know, man, but I'm trying to play. And he's like, "Listen, man, my dad has a hookup in Poland. Would you go to Poland and play?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll go to Poland and play. Why not?" Got the invitation, got my visa, went to Poland, man. Now, when I tell you, man, this was the coldest place I ever been to in my life, man.
Mm.
The coldest place, yo. I was the only black person in the town.
Wow.
So imagine that. The only
Yeah.
black person. Only black. People was like touching me to see if I was real, and just like man, it was crazy. It was so crazy, man. It was like it was I tell people like the experiences that I get and the things that I went through to be where I'm at right now is, everyone got a story, I'm just saying, but it's crazy, man. And I would never I wouldn't give it up. I wouldn't give it up. I would do it all over again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, this is where you get to see, it's like, okay, these are what these guys go through. That these guys that you see on TV, the professional guys, the Cristiano Ronaldo, the Messi, and these guys, it's like these what these guys go through. It's like different
Mm.
culture. You being in the locker room, like no one speak English. Everyone speak Polish. You're the only guy that even the coaches, they're talking, and you're like, what the hell is going on? And they just call your name and say good, and you just say, yeah, good, good. And you go out, you do
Yeah.
whatever the hell you want because they talking to you. You don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it was good, man. It was good, and I got injured, came back, and I had a hard time because I didn't speak the language, and I was learning like words, like I was learning like 10 words a day every day, and I was to a point where I know how to communicate like on the field.
Mm.
Like I know how to say pass, turn, like those stuff. And when I got injured, it was kind of difficult for me because I had no one to talk to. This
Mm.
is the time when Skype came in, and I was on the computer talking to Skype, and in Europe is like it's a 6 hour difference from Europe to here in America. And while I'm getting up, these guys are going to bed. While I'm going to bed, they you know what I mean? They're getting up. So it's kind of like I had to like gauge the time frame to see, and it was a real difficult time for me. And it's like time was like, I always wanted to experience it, and when I got into it, I just kind of got like homesick. It's like, man,
Mm.
this is like, and I end up coming back home. They really wanted me to stay, but it was like a whole bunch of little fishy stuff going on. And you know what I mean? I was like, listen, man, I want to go back home, man. I was young, being young, being away from home, being away from everyone is like, that was like a crazy experience that, what I mean? I would tell people like, listen, if I had to go back again, I would have stayed,
Mm.
but I was young and I didn't know what was going on. And I came back home. When I came back home, there was a team in USL in Long Island called FC New York. FC New York came about. This agent guy hit me up and told me, hey, there's a team in New York, you should go. And I went to try out. I played with them. I played with them for the year. So I signed a contract halfway through the year. So I played with them for half a season. Then the team got folded. Then I went to Orlando City. I went to preseason with Orlando City. This was 2000 and I think 2013. And the coach said I was there for like the whole preseason, like playing and thinking I'm like, all right, this is it, man. I'm gonna finally make it. I'm doing good. Like, I came off like a half a season of professional playing in the USL, and I know how it is playing. All right, cool. Then he told my agent that he can't promise me playing time. So I'm like, yo, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I should be the one to be working for it, But left there. Fast forward, left there. Went to a team in Virginia called Fredericksburg. They was playing in the PDL. They was playing PDL at the time. Played PDL with Fredericksburg. Played half a season. I had 7 goals. I had 8 goals in 6 games, 5 assists. And the guy who brought me there was like he was a guy that had a link to go to Germany. So I was like, okay, I'll play half a season with you. Since you say you're gonna give me the hookup to go to Germany, I'll just come and play. Got injured halfway through the season, fractured my ankle, didn't get to go that year. Following year, I played again. There was what was the league called again? NPSL. NPSL was the league, and came back and played. Played there for the whole year. My team won. If you look up the team, it's called. What was the team? How can I forget the name of the team? Shit. It was in Virginia.
Too many teams.
We changed the name from. Yeah, we changed our name from Fredericksburg Hotspur to RVA. RVA was a team in Richmond, Virginia. So we had like all the top college athletes on our team, like D1s from players from Virginia, UVA, from Duke, James Madison, VCU. Our team was stacked, and it was just me and a couple older guys was on the team, and we went undefeated that whole season. We won the whole thing undefeated. Our coach, we played for a guy named Grover Gibson. He was a guy that played on the national team U17 growing up, and he's been playing in Germany since he was like 15 years old.
So
left that team. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you mentioned, playing over. So what age did you sign your first professional contract?
20.
And that was in Holland?
No, that was in Poland.
Poland. So you signed your first pro contract in Poland?
Yeah, Poland for a team called Warta Poznan.
And how long were you there for? Yep. 1 year?
5 months.
And then
5 months.
When did you sign your second professional contract?
When I came back to the States for FC New York, which is 20. I was 21 at the time.
21. So basically, from all the way from 20, you've been playing pro consistently, or did you drop levels and go up and drop like?
I dropped levels. So every time I would go up, I would play professional. I played in USL. The team folded. I dropped down. Played PDL. Then I played MPSL for 2 years. And then after that 2 years, I ended up playing NASL for Indy 11.
Indy 11. And
so I played for Indy 11. Played Indy 11 for 4 years, from 2014 to 2017.
And PDL at the time, because I'm not familiar with PDL, because isn't PDL USL now? They changed names, or is that
no? So PDL is like now, because they have so many leagues now. It's like I'm kind of confused because they have the MLS, they have USL Championship, they have USL League One, and then they have the USL Academy, I think it's called. Or now it's called UPSL. I think they changed the name to UPSL now.
Yeah,
so PDL is like UPSL. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So PDL is like UPSL.
Okay. So what, how do you handle? And now you're currently playing in USL 1, which is third division, and then there's 2 other third division leagues. There's MLS Next Pro and NISA. So what advice would you give players in regards to you're playing at a high level and then you're dropping down, then you're going back to a high level and dropping down, that volatility per se in regards to league inconsistencies and the level that you're playing in, and the amount of money that you're making, what advice would you give to players in regards to dealing with that, and how do you stay consistent because you've done that?
I would say it's okay to dream big, but always know that sometimes it's okay to take a step, to take two step backwards to move back forward.
Mm,
Because sometimes you know how it is. It's like this game is like it promises to no one, because you can be on top today and tomorrow you can just drop all the way down. And some guys don't know how to handle that. And I feel like don't be ashamed don't be ashamed of going down a league or
mm,
taking a couple steps down, because you just say, for instance, you play in the MLS and you know you don't play in the MLS anymore, no one wants you, and like a lot of guys don't want to play in the USL, and I don't see why. It's still professional, but not that it's not because you're not playing MLS. There's still quality guys in those type of leagues. It's just that the way how it works now is just that things and times changes. It's all about what the coaches and what the team are looking for, and it's okay to take a step back, because when I took a step back, of course I was upset and I was like, I'm too good for this league and this and that. But like when the reality hit you, the good thing about it is that you're still playing. There's a lot of guys that don't even have a club. You know what I mean? So I just think you just like, it's okay to take a step backwards. Just keep grinding, because that one step that you take backwards and you just say, for instance, you played in the MLS and you come down to play USL and you killed the league and you become, just say, for instance, you make best 11 and stuff, you might go back up because they can see, okay, this guy belongs here. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes there's a lot of guys that belong in the league that's not in the league. So it just sometimes it doesn't work out for you. You know what I mean? I just didn't give up, no matter where they are playing. Long as I'm still playing, because my dream, like I said, this is why I said earlier, you have to love it, not like it.
mm.
Because if you liked it, a lot of guys that I know like say, you know what, I'm not gonna play USL. It's just, the money is not good, this what it is, and it's not, and like, a lot of guys can say, oh, we're gonna go 95, and then when they go do the 95 to sit behind the desk, now they call me, it's like, man, listen, man, play as long as you can, because the 95 behind the desk is not as what all of us thought it was, because a professional footballer, like a lot of guys, like that's their life. So when you don't have that in your life anymore, it's like now you have to adapt to what's going on, and the transition is kind of difficult. A lot of guys like have to it take them a while to like really get accumulated to what they're doing other than playing soccer.
Yeah, 100%. I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask you a tough question here because I totally relate to your story in regards to like loving it. I love it the same way you do. I'll share a little quick story. 2019, I was in France for 3 to 4 months, biking, catching the train, going to practice, taking the train back, sleeping, repeating, doing the same thing. I totally understand that experience. I didn't do the partying too much. What you did, you got that energy, man. I don't have that energy, but um, being away from family and friends. You mentioned, you were gone for 5 months. It's really hard to keep consistent with family and friends back home. And you also mentioned an injury. I'll get into the injury after, but you, how do you were you able to still keep those friendships and relationships alive during your career, or were those things that you had to sacrifice?
Um. Yeah. For the most part, a lot of friends that I had, I still have them now,
That's
because
good.
they
Yeah.
understand what I was going through and what I wanted to become. You know. Yes, I did had a couple of friends where it's like, you know what, it's not gonna work out for you, man. Just go find a job, this and that. So listen, man, I get what you're saying, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I want to do. It's my life. You know what I'm saying? So you do what you want to do, and I do what I want to do. Cause I'm. A lot of my friends can tell you, or people who know me, I'm stubborn when it comes to certain. When it comes to soccer, I'm very stubborn. It's like you're not gonna tell me that I can't do something. I have to do it, and to see that I can't do it. No one can be like, oh, you can't do this. Like you can't tell me that I can't do it. I'm gonna do it and show to you that I can do it. So at the end of the day, it's like I had guys that are pushing. I had friends that were pushing me and say, "Listen, man, just stick it out. Just stay. You know what you want in life. You know what I mean? It's not easy, but you have to do it." And I had guys that were telling me, "Hey, man, you should just come back home and not play and this and that," just because they wanted to be. they wanted me to be closer to them, which is selfish. It's kind of selfish. But at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you, not what's best for other people.
100%.
So it ruined a couple friendship, but God have a way to work out things in his in a way. It's like sometimes the people that you lose, they wasn't just meant to be there. Sometimes you have people in your life for a season. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just
Yeah.
like it might be you might thought this person is like, I came across a lot of teammates where it's like, oh my God, I'm thinking, yo, they're like my best friend. And next year I don't even see them because they get traded or I get traded or they're not playing anymore. And it's just how life goes on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Life goes on. You just have to do what's best for you.
Yeah. I know we're coming up on time here. One of the last questions I'll ask before the fun ones is injuries. Injuries could end your career. But actually, before I ask you this, you started playing pro at 20. If you don't mind me asking, what's your age? What's your age now?
It's crazy because Saturday coming, I'm gonna be 36.
36. Jeez, man.
36 years
Really
old.
happy birthday to you, man. More life. So
Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
you've been playing for longer than 16 years, but after you signed pro 20, so you've been playing for a decade plus pro. So,
Yeah.
um, injuries are a huge part of the game. Being in the game for about 16 years plus at pro level, how'd you bounce back from that injury, and how do you stay healthy now? Because you're 36, you're playing with younger guys and guys your age, but how do you stay healthy?
So when I got injured, it was I think throughout my career, I probably had maybe two serious injuries. Like all the rest of the injuries that I had was like minor, like hamstrings and like level 3 sprains in the ankle and stuff like that. And when I was getting injured, I started learning how to take care of my body when I started playing in Indy. Because normally, like I said, I don't stop playing. So on the off season, like I have friends that play soccer, and it's like we don't stop. I come home and I'm constantly like wake up in the morning, running and training, going on the beach and playing. And the trainer, we had a sports specialist guy in Indy named Mike Robinson, told me he saw I was on vacation in Jamaica, and I used to post like some of the times where like when I work out and stuff, because some of the guys like, yo, what do you do in the off season? Like, can you like post some of the stuff so I can see like what you do? So I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. And he's like, man, every time I see you, I go on your Instagram. You always running, man. You always running. The body that you have, you're gonna be naturally fit because you have fast metabolism. It's like you have to go to the gym to build muscle because the more you run, the more you deflate your muscles. And I didn't know that. I used to just think, all right, I'm just gonna go play. And I was like, you know what, this guy's serious. And I played with a guy named Gerardo Torrado. He's a Mexican. If you look him up, a Mexican legend. Played 4 World Cups for Mexico, captain for Mexico national team. And I used to see this guy come into training, and he used to be the last person to leave training. Like this guy used to spend hours like after training stretching, and I used to look at him like he was crazy. Like, yo, what's wrong with this guy, man? Like, come on, man, go home. He's like, he's like, when you reach my age, you will see,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
understand what I'm talking about. And to be fair, I started going to the gym on the off season 2 years ago. Out of all these years I've been playing, I started going to the gym. I never had a gym membership until 2 years ago. I had a
Mhm.
gym membership, and listen, I used to go to the gym. I would go to the gym every single day. Every single day, I used to go to the gym. I would train in the morning and go to the gym at night. And then after the gym, I would get a call and say, "Hey, we're playing indoor soccer," and I would just go play right away. So sometimes I'm doing like 3 days. So it's like I've from since I noticed I start doing the gym a lot more. I started to have less injuries. And
Mm.
I started noticing. I try to tell the younger guys like, listen, man, just on the off season, just try to mix the gym with the training, because sometimes like a lot of guys, no matter how much you train in the off season, it's totally different ball game when you go into preseason. It feels like you haven't been training. You've been training all these months, and you go to the preseason. It's like, oh my god, it's like I've been training so much. So it's like, you just like do a lot of strength work on the off season,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, you don't want to go into preseason fit. Because when you go into preseason fit, midway through the season, you're gonna burn out. So you want to be in preseason. You want to be in the middle of the pack. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to be too fit or not fit. You just want to be a little bit of condition where you can keep up. And when you go because in preseason you do 2 days anyway. So when you go in that's what preseason is for. And then when you get in preseason, now you okay, now you're good. Midway through the season, you're banging out. And like if you can, and if you look in most seasons or most leagues, midway through the season, a lot of guys get injured, and a lot of guys that the stuff that they used to doing in the beginning of the season, they started going down because of that reason. And I've learned that, and I tried to pass that on to most of the younger guys that I know. Like, a couple of the guys that I know, I tried to listen, this hard, but everybody's different. Everybody's different. You got guys that can kill the beep test, and when you go in games, they can't run. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's body's different. Like on fitness tests and stuff, I'm not gonna do the greatest, but I'll be maybe top 10, top 5 and thing. But in games, like I don't stop. Like all my friends, I don't stop running. So it's a different type of fitness. Everyone have a different type of fitness and the stuff. And like I said, I'm older now, so I just try not to stop because I feel like if I stop, it's gonna take me longer to get back into it because I'm older now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so crazy. Like consistency is key, man. But that's pretty interesting that you're saying you don't want to stay too fit, not too low. You want to stay right in the middle. This is the first time I'm hearing this, so it's working for you. You're 36, so hey, man, you know what you're talking about. So guys, Don Smart, man, listen to him. With saying that, I got 5 fun questions to end it off lightheartedly. What is your favorite food to eat?
Oxtail.
Rice and peas. What is your favorite movie?
Rice and peas, yes. Oxtail, rice and peas.
What's your favorite movie?
Know it. My favorite movie is Shatters.
What is that? A Jamaican movie?
Yeah, Jamaican movie is called Shatters. You should check it up after this.
Yeah, I'll check it out. What's your favorite activity besides soccer and the gym?
Favorite activities. I like to play basketball. I'm actually good at basketball. A lot of people don't know that, but I'm actually good at basketball. Because moving here in New York, you have to learn how to play basketball, man. Because a lot of guys don't play soccer. You got to go in the park. You got to learn how to play basketball.
There's too much
So
concrete.
I play basketball and like hang out with friends. Yeah, basketball and hang out with friends.
There's too much concrete over in New York. No land.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite music artist?
Movado.
What's your favorite track by Movado?
The favorite track. My favorite track. He has so much. Damn, this is hard. This one is hard. Damn, man.
This one.
Trust me, it's a lot. I'm trying to remember. How can I not forget my favorite song? That's crazy. How can you forget your favorite song?
That's wild. All right, I'll give you a next one. Messi or Ronaldo?
Shit, man. I'll say both, man. Listen, the reason why I'm gonna tell you why. I say both. Because at the end of the day, these two guys been doing it for a decade, right? Just them two by themselves. And it shows you two types of athletes. One that worked their ass off, which is Ronaldo, and one is just talented. So God is just showing you sometimes you have to work hard to get what you want. Sometimes some people are just talented. It's just like it's just God given. It's like no matter what this guy do, it's just like he's just talented.
Thanks.
So I'll say both. I wouldn't choose one. I would say both.
I'm clapping on the plays. Can I play? Can I do a clap? Damn. No, this thing has some cool settings to do, but it doesn't want to clap. All right. Well, Don, before we go, I'd like to thank you for taking the time for joining us on the One Soccer Nation podcast today.
Man, no problem, man. Anytime, man. Appreciate you, man.
All right.